So now our topic for today is motivation. Now, under motivation, we are going to study several topics, which are introduction to motivation. Then comes the theories of motivation, followed by process, and then features. Then four C's of motivation, and last the 4 R's of communication. After motivation, we are going to study the job enrichment. Right. So first, we'll initiate with motivation. So, motivation is the process that initiates, guides, and sustains goal oriented behavior. It involves the biological, emotional, social, and cognitive forces that activate the behavior. In a management context, motivation is the willingness to exert high level of efforts to reach organizational goals, conditions by the efforts ability to satisfy some individual's needs. Motivation is something which is very crucial for managers as it directly affects the productivity and the employee satisfaction, right? So motivated employees, they are more likely to perform at their best or to exhibit the higher levels of engagement, to show their commitment towards the organization, and even they contribute much positively towards the organizational cultures, right? So managers need to understand that what drives their employees and what creates an environment that fosters the innovation, which motivates them, means what are the factors that motivates the team, that motivates the employees. And after analyzing all the factors, a manager should always keep on motivating his or her employees for better efficiency, for better productivity of the organization. Let us assume like there's a manager who has to recognize and who has to reward employees for their hard work. Now, what will this result into? Now, by recognizing and by rewarding the employees for their hard work, this will it will lead to the increase in motivation, by making employees more valuable, and they'll feel more appreciated by their managers, and also they will work efficiently towards the organizational goals. Now, the next topic is theories of motivation. So, the first theory is Maslow's hierarchy of needs, or we can say Maslow's need hierarchy theory. Okay, under this, there are five types of need. Maslow said that there are five types of need which an individual needs to satisfy. They are physiological needs, safety needs, social needs, esteem needs, and self-actualization needs. So, uh, under this theory, Maslow hierarchy of need, it is one of the most well-known theory of motivation. It is based on the idea that people have different levels of need, and they must be, and these needs must be fulfilled in a specific order, right? Or from the most basic to the most advanced, there are several type of needs which every individual needs to fulfill, right? So the theory, it forms a pyramid of five levels, right? Starting with the physiological. So physiological needs, these are the basic needs of an individual which are necessary for survival. For example, food, shelter, water, air, sleep, right? So and in the context of workplace, means if we talk about organization, then this could relate to to providing the fair wages that will allow the employees to afford their necessities, offering breaks for rest and meals, and ensuring a comfortable working environment in the organization. Means these are the basic needs that every individual needs to satisfy. And after the physiological needs comes the safety needs. Now, once the physiological needs are met, next need that arises are the levels. It involves safety and security of the individual, right? So this includes the personal as well as the financial security, health, or well-being of an employee, right? So employers can address these needs by offering them job security, by working them safe working conditions, even health insurance, and a stable work environment which is free from threat, so that the safety needs of the employees are totally satisfied. Now, after physiological, after safety needs comes the social needs. We can say that these also known as love and belongingness needs, right? So this level, it involves the need for interpersonal relationships, or we can say friendship, or love, or even a sense of belonging to the organization. Now, if we talk about the organizational context, then this can be fostered through team building activities, by by collaborating, by collaborating, uh, proper environment, or by encouraging the strong relationship among the colleagues. Now, after this comes the fourth need, which is esteem needs. But this level includes the needs for self-esteem and respect from others. Means now, after satisfying all of the three needs, now the individual wants self-respect, that others should respect him or her. Means people want to be valued, they want to feel valued, or they want to be recognized by their accomplishments here. So employers can address these needs, and by providing the opportunities for recognition, such as employee month awards, we can say promotions and other forms of acknowledgement. Employers can motivate the employees, so that the employees feel that they have achieved their esteem needs. Then after the all the four needs are accomplished, then comes the self actualization needs. Means these are also known as the needs of the highest order, right? So the highest level is self actualization need, which is the desire to achieve one's potential. Means whatever a person is capable of, so he has a desire to achieve his full potential and engage in activities that are personally fulfilling, right? So in a professional setting, we can say that this can be supported by offering the opportunities for professional development, by creative projects, and by the roles that will align with the employee's personal goals and passion. For example, a company like Google, it provides competitive salaries and even the excellent working condition to its employees. uh, they foster a collaborative and a friendly culture. They recognizes the work of the employees and rewards them for their achievements. They offer opportunities for the personal growth and innovation. Now, the second theory is Alfred's ERG theory, which means E for existence, R for relatedness, and G for growth. Now, this theory, Alfred's ERG theory, it simplifies the Maslow's five levels into the three categories. Means E, R, and G, which are existence, relatedness, and growth. So, unlike the Maslow's theory, which just suggests a strict order of needs, Alfred's theory, it posits that more than one needs can be motivated at the same time. That if the higher level needs are not fulfilled, then people might regress to the lower level needs, right? So first we'll come to the existing needs suggested by the Alfreds, right? So under the existing needs, these are similar to Maslow's physiological and safety needs, right? So they include all material or physiological desires, for example, water, shelter, or safe working conditions, right? So ensuring competitive pay and a safe work environment meets these needs. Means altogether it is a mix of basic needs as well as the safety needs. The second is relatedness needs, are for relatedness needs. Now these encompass that the needs for the interpersonal relationship, much like Maslow's social needs, right? So this includes interaction with the family, with friends, with co-workers, and the employers. Now, promoting a culture of teamwork and collaboration in the workplace, this will address these type of needs, and employees will feel motivated towards their working or towards the operations of the organization. Now, the last needs, as per Alfred's, are growth needs, which means that these needs are associated with the instinct desire of personal development and the need to realize one's potential, what one is capable of, right? So, they are keen to Maslow's esteem and self actualization need, right? They are just relevant to those needs, right? So providing employees with opportunities for advancement, for professional development on, and even the challenging projects, right? This will help the employees to meet these needs. Third are the MacGregor's theory X and Y. This is very important theory, and this is also very famous theory. Okay? This theory consists of two factors. MacGregor's, he introduced two factors, that for every employee there are two factors, theory X and theory Y, which he developed into two theories. So as per theory X, he said this views, this assumes that employees, they dislike work and will avoid if they can. Means this theory leads to complete negativity. This was complete negative theory. Means he suggested that employees need to be closely supervised and controlled through threats and punishment, right? So theory acts managers are more likely to adopt an authoritative style of management, believing that employees need to be force to the organizational objectives or so as to achieve the organizational objective. How comes the theory by? This is a complete positive theory, which means that this theory views, it assumes that employees are naturally motivated and enjoy their work, right? So it means that employees will exercise self direction, they will exercise self control in the pursuit of the objectives they are committed. So theory why managers, they believe in a participative management style. They believe in empowering the employees and encouraging them to take ownership of their work. They will voluntarily take the initiatives. They will take the ownership of the work so that their aims or their personal objectives will synchronize with the organizational objectives. The fourth theory is Herzberg two-factor theory. Now, Herzberg also he introduced two factors, hygiene factors and motivators. So, this theory is also known as motivation hygiene theory. It suggests that there are two set of factors that influence the motivation of in the employees at the workplace. So the first factor is hygiene factor. These factors, hygiene factors, can they can cause dissatisfaction if they are missing or they are inadequate, but do not necessarily motivate employees if they are increased. Right. So example would include salary, or we can say company policies, the working conditions, or we can say job security, and even the interpersonal relationship among the employees, right? So ensuring these factors are adequately prevents the dissatisfaction but does not increase the motivation level. Means these should be there, they will work, the employees will work towards the organizational good, but also these will not motivate them, but it will keep them happy. The second factors as per McGregor's were motivators. Means these factors, they are true or they truly drive the motivation and they lead to the job satisfaction, which means that they include the challenging work, they include challenging work, they include the job opportunities, they include recognition, they include responsibilities for personal growth and advancement of the employees in the organization. Now, when these factors, these are present, so employees are they are more likely to be motivated and satisfied with their jobs. Let us assume an example, for example, if a company might ensure competitive salaries and good working conditions to to prevent the dissatisfaction among the employees, or we can say the hygiene factors. Dissatisfaction means the hygiene factors as per the Herzberg theory, right? So to motivate the employees, the company could also implement programs that would recognize the outstanding performance, that will provide the opportunities for career development, and even they will give employees more responsibility and autonomy in their roles. Now the fifth theory is McClelland's theory of need. Now this theory, it focuses on three key factors of motivation that drives the human behavior. Now those three factors are need for achievement, need for affiliation, and the third is need for power, right? So first key factor is need for achievement, which means that this is the desire to excel and achieve in the relation to a set of standards. It means that people with a high need for achievement, they are driven by challenging but attainable goals, right? So which seeks the feedback of their performance and prefers the task where they have control over the outcomes. Now, these were the needs for achievement. Second is the need for affiliation. This is the desire for friendly and close interpersonal relationships. Now, people with a high need for affiliation, they seek approval and reassurance from others. They prefer the cooperations rather than the competitive situations, and also they value the relationships over the personal success, right? So now third needs are a need for power. Yeah. So a manager can motivate an employee with a high need for achievement by setting challenging goals and by regularly providing the feedbacks of their performance. Now, for an employee with a high need for affiliation, the manager could create opportunities for teamwork and for social interactions, right? For someone with a high need for power, the manager might offer leadership roles and opportunities also to make them important decisions. Now the next theory is Vroom's expectancy theory. Okay, so under this theory, it suggests that people are motivated to work when they expect that their efforts will lead to the desired outcomes. This also focuses on three key factors, or three components, which are expectancy, which are instrumentality, and balance. Right? Expectancy means that this is the belief that that efforts will lead to the good performance, that when they will work good, when they will work towards the attainment of the organization objective, their efforts means effort of a particular individual, they will lead towards the good performance and hence will increase the productivity of the organization. Here employees they need to believe that if they put in the effort, they will achieve the desired levels of performance which are being laid down by the organization. Second is instrumentality. Second component, this is the belief that good performance will be rewarded. Means now employees here they need to see a clear link between their performance and the rewards they will receive. Means here they feel like if they perform good, if they perform well, they would be rewarded with something or the other, or their efforts would be recognized, they would be appreciated, and hence in that way the employees they feel valued towards the organization. Now, the third key component of V room's expectancy is valence. V for valence. Now, this is the value that an individual places on the rewards they receive. Means the reward must be valuable and meaningful to the employees. Not like that, okay, this was the employee who has done good work in this month and so he is appreciated. Even the employees expect something valuable and meaningful to them, right? For example, a company can motivate its employee by ensuring that they understand how their efforts will lead to a good performance, right? Which means the expectancy. By clearly linking the performance to the rewards, for example, bonus or promotion, which means the instrumentality, and by offering the rewards that employee finds valuable. For example, monetary incentives. Now, this will motivate him towards the good working in future also. Monetary incentives or recognitions, or we can say the career advancement opportunities, which is the balance here. So all together, all the three factors they form the Vroom's expectancy theory. Now the last theory is Adams equity theory, which means that this theory is based on the idea that people are motivated by fairness. Means a fair and justice should be there in the organization. Employees compare their job inputs, such as their efforts, their experiences, and their education, and outcomes like salary, recognition, and benefits with those of the others. Means they'll compare their performance with the performance of the others, right? With inputs means job inputs as well as the job outcomes, right? So if they perceive an imbalance or inequity with their performance and the others' performance, they may feel demotivated and also they might take steps to restore the equity. For example, if two employees are there with similar qualifications and experiences at the same job but with different salaries, right? Means the first Mr. A is receiving the same salary, but Mr. B is receiving more salary than him. But their qualifications are same, and also they are performing the same job role, right? So the one who is paid less, he will obviously feel demotivated and less inclined to put in his efforts, right? So to maintain the motivation, managers should ensure that fair treatment and even the equitable distribution of rewards and recognition is there in the organization. Now the next point is process of motivation. Our next topic is process of motivation. Under the process of motivation, the first step is identifying needs and desires. Okay. So the process here it begins when an individual identifies a need or desire that creates an internal state of discomfort or imbalance, right? So this recognition, this will this recognition of needs will drive the person to seek out ways to satisfy them. Now here the needs can, they can be physiological, they can, for example, thirst, or we can say hunger, or it be psychological also, right? For example, desires for achievement or recognition, right? So in a organizational context, if we talk about, so these needs, these could range from basic necessities like fair salary or high level desires, right? Or even the career advancement or personal development. For instance, an employee might feel unfulfilled because their tasks are too routine and do not challenge them enough, right? So this unmet need, this need which is not met for stimulation and growth, sets the stage for the motivation process, right? For example, let us take an example. Let's say Sarah is an employee who realizes that her job has become monotonous, and also she craves more challenging assignments to feel engaged and satisfied at her work. Now, this recognition of her need for more, for more stimulating environment, for more challenging projects, it is the first step in the motivation process. Now comes the second step, which is second setting goals, which means that once the needs or desires are identified, the next crucial step is setting the specific, setting clear and achievable goals that will help to fulfill the needs of the individuals, right? Uh, Goals here, they act as a roadmap for the individuals, for the employees, because they provide the directions, also the purpose to the individual efforts, right? So effective goals are very needed. In smart goals should be there. Smart here stands for S for specific, measurable, A for achievable, R for relevant, and T for time bound. So goals should be smart. Now, setting such goals will help individuals to, to focus their efforts and to measure their progress. In the organizational context, or we can say in a professional setting, this might involve identifying the key projects, right? Identifying the key tasks or even the skills that will align with one's career aspiration. For example, to address needs of Sarah for more challenging work, Sarah can set a goal to lead the next major project in her department, right? She herself might take an initiative. So this goal is very specific for her to lead the project. This is measurable also, that she will complete the project. This is achievable because within her capabilities she has that potential that she can achieve the goal, right? It is very relevant, which means that she has aligned her needs with the challenging needs, right? And she should complete the task within the next quarter or with whatever the time has been laid down by the organization. Now the third step is identifying motivation factors, which means that after setting the goals, individuals here they consider like what factors will motivate them to pursue these goals. Means motivation factors, it can be instinctive, for example, such as personal satisfaction and enjoyment of the task, or such as rewards and even the recognition from others, right? So understanding that what derives motivation, it is very crucial for maintaining enthusiasm and commitment among the employees. Instinctive motivators will often lead to more sustainable and long term engagement of the employees, while extinctive motivators, they will always provide the initial pushes which will need to start working towards the goal. Now, the fourth step is taking action. Now, with clear goals and motivation factors in the mind or in the place, the individuals take action towards achieving their goals. Here, they will execute or they will take actions, right? So, this will involve making specific efforts and and engaging in the behaviors that will lead to the goal attainment. Taking actions require commitment, discipline, and often the ability to overcome the obstacles and the setbacks. It is at this stage that plans are put into the motion or they are executed, and the theoretical aspects of motivation, they are translated into practical efforts. Whatever the factors are needed, they will be executed here. Next point of the process is sustaining effort, which means that sustaining effort, it is very crucial for maintaining the motivation over the time, like especially while facing the challenges. This step involves staying focused, staying persistent, and even resilient towards the organizational goal. It's very common for obstacles to arise that can hinder the progress, so as to maintain a positive attitude and a continuous and a continuing push towards the achievement of the goals. Or techniques here, such as short-term milestones, seeking the feedbacks from the employees, and celebrating the small victories can help to sustain the motivation. Now, the next point is achieving goals, which means the culmination of the motivation process is the achievement of the set goals. Here, successfully reaching a goal provides a sense of accomplishment and fulfillment, which will validate the efforts and the strategies employed by the organization. Now, achieving goals not only will satisfy the initial needs or desired, but will also reinforce the behavior, making individuals more likely to pursue and achieve future goals here. Now, this can also be boosted by self-esteem and confidence among the employees in the organization. Now, the last point in this step of motivation is receiving feedbacks and rewards. Now, receiving feedback and reward is very essential part of the motivation process, because providing feedback and and tangible rewards, it can reinforce the behavior that will lead to success, that will lead to making individuals more likely to continue their performance, right? Rewards can be personal satisfaction, or it can be receiving more bonus or promotions, or even the public recognitions. Now, feedback, whether they are positive or constructive, it will help the individuals understand their strength as well as the areas for improvement in whatever area they are lagging behind. Breaking down the process of motivation into different points, or we can say into these 7 points, we've seen that how an individual's journey from identifying a need to achieve the goal, it involves careful planning, it involves sustainable efforts, and even the reinforcement of the success through feedbacks and by providing them the rewards for their performance. Now, the next topic is features of motivation. See, motivation is a complex and a multifaceted concept, right? Which means that it derives the human behavior. Understanding its feature will help us to grasp how motivation works and how it can be harnessed effectively into various contexts, right? Especially in the workplace. Here we are talking about the workplace. Now, the key features of motivation are: first is internal process. Obviously, it's an internal process. Motivation comes from inside of a person. Means it comes from within. No external force is required here, because it's an internal feeling that pushes someone, to do something to reach their goals. Means this feeling, it can be influenced by what a person wants, by her needs, or by the values and how the person feels. Means it's an internal, but it can be different for each person based on their unique situations. For example, let's say if an employee might feel motivated to complete a challenging project because they personally value the sense of accomplishment and the skill development it offers, right? So the internal motivation will drive him to put in the necessary efforts and to focus on the project. Now, the second feature is goal oriented, which means that motivation is goal oriented, as it involves setting and striving towards the specific objectives. Goals here, they provide direction and purpose for making it clear that what the individual is working towards. By focusing efforts on achieving these goals, motivation helps channel energy and also the resource uses of resource efficiently. For example, if a salesperson, he might set a goal to achieve a certain sales target for a quarter, right? So the goal here, it will give him a clear objective to work towards. Means motivating him to work more, will work here to follow up the leads and close deals, right? So means he will be self motivated. He will set certain targets. He will formulate certain strategies, to accomplish his goal, which is to achieve a certain set of target in that particular quarter. Now, the third feature is behavioral influence. Now, here motivation significantly influences behavior, which means that motivation determines the intensity, the directions, and even the persistence of an individual's action, right? So motivation, motivating the individuals, it is more likely to engage in behavior that will align with their goals and will influence, or sorry, that will align their goals, and and it will also put in the necessary efforts to achieve those goals. This behavioral influence, this can be seen in both productive as well as unproductive actions. Means depending upon the nature of the motivation, how the factors have taken place, how the motivation has taken place for that particular individual. Now the fourth feature is dynamic and variable. Yeah, so motivation is not static, it is very dynamic and it can change over time to time, which means that different factors such as new information, changes in personal circumstances, or even we can say the changes in external factors, like, right? So external influences can be, it can affect the individual's motivation, right? So this variability, it will mean that what motivates a person today might not be motivating for the same person in the coming days or for tomorrows. So the next feature is multifaceted. Okay, the motivation is multifaceted, which means that it can arise from a combination of internal as well as external factors, right? So internal factors will come from within of the individual, which will drive the particular individual for the personal satisfaction, and interest in tasks will come from within. External factors, on the other hand, they will come from the external rewards, or even the pressures such as money, recognitions, or avoiding the negative consequences. Now, the next feature is influenced by individual differences, which means that different people or different individuals are motivated by different things. Same motivation or same factor of motivation might not work for every individual. It will differ or it will vary from person to person or from employee to employee, right? So individual differences are there, for example, personality, values, or we can say needs, and past experiences, or every persons are different, which plays a very significant role in what motivates someone, right? So understanding these individual differences, it is very crucial for effectively motivating people in their various contexts in the organization. And the next feature is continuous process. Yeah, motivation is always a continuous process. It is not a one time event, right? So it requires ongoing efforts to maintain and to enhance. Means regular feedback, regular reinforcement, or even adjustments are needed to keep motivation on the high levels, right? So this continuous nature, this means that managers and even the leaders, they must consistently engage with their teams, so as to understand and to support their motivational needs. Now the next feature is linked to satisfaction and performance. Now there is a strong link between motivation, satisfaction, and the performance, which means that highly motivated individuals, they tend to be more satisfied with their works for their and for to perform better, right? So this relationship, it is reciprocal, as higher job performance or high performance and high job satisfaction can further enhance motivation, which will create a positive cycle for the employees. Now, the next feature is requires alignment with organizational goals, which is very essential. Means a sync should be there, or we should say a synchronization should be there between the two, right? For motivation to be more effective in the workplace, individual goals, they must be aligned with the organizational goals, right? So when employees, they see a clear connections between their personal objectives and the organizational mission, they are more likely to be motivated to contribute to the organizational success. Now this alignment between the two, this ensures that the efforts of motivated employees, they are supported broader on the for the organizational outcomes, or for the better organizational outcomes. Now the last feature is it can be enhanced through external factors. See, motivation is an internal factor. First feature we have studied, it is an internal process. Means it is an internal process, but through external forces it can be enhanced, right? So it can be enhanced through external factors, which means that while motivation is internal, it can be significantly influenced to a level by the external factors. For example, those factors could be leadership, it could be organizational culture, or even the work environment, right? So positive reinforcement will support a leadership, a collaborative culture, and it will also, it will it will be conductive for the work environment, which will enhance the motivation, whereas the negative factors will always diminish the motivation of the employee. Now, by understanding all the features of motivation, managers and leaders, they can develop the strategies to effectively motivate their teams, their employees, which will lead to the higher job satisfaction, for the better performance, hence the better outcome of the organization or towards the organizational success. Now, the next topic is the 4 C's of motivation, and the next is 4 R's of motivation. Now, 4 C's means there are 4 C's in motivation, which are competence, connection, choice, and celebration. Now, first we'll come to the first C of motivation, which is competence, which refers to the feeling of being capable and skilled in one's task, which means that when individuals they feel competent, they believe that they can effectively handle the responsibilities and the challenges they have faced, or in future whatever they can face. So this confidence in their abilities, it is crucial for maintaining high levels of motivation, because it will foster a sense of self efficiency and accomplishment. For example, in a workplace setting, when employees they receive proper training and they have access to necessary resources, they are more likely to be competent. Means providing opportunities for professional development, such as workshops or conducting the courses and the mentoring programs and even the seminars. These will, they will enhance the employees' skill and their knowledge, right? So, furthermore, setting the realistic and achievable goals will always allow employees to experience success, to reinforce their belief in their capabilities, right? So regular or constructive feedback is very essential. It should be conducted, which will help the employees to recognize their feedback, and it will also help them to analyze their strengths and to identify the areas for improvement. Now, when people feel competent, they are more likely to be motivated, as they have the confidence to take on new challenges and to strive for the higher job performance. This was the first C of motivation, which was competence. Now, the next C is for connection. Connection, it involves the relationship and sense of belongingness. Means a connection is there between the two. The relationship between the sense of belongingness and the individuals will feel within a group of the organization. Means without any external motivation, they themselves feel motivated towards the organizational goals, or they feel a sense of belongingness with their organization. Now, feeling connected means that individuals they perceive themselves as an integral part of the larger community, whether it is a team, whether it is a department, or the entire organization. They have the feeling of belongingness. Now, this sense of belongingness, it is very vital, or it is very crucial for motivation, because it provides the emotional support and even it encourages the collaboration, right? So for instance, in the organization, fostering strong interpersonal relationships and a sense of belongingness, it can significantly enhance the motivation of the employees. Team building activities like social events, open communication channels, and this will help to build a positive culture when employees feel valued, where the employees feel valued and included within the organization. Now, when people feel their contributions matters to the organization, they are more engaged and they are more motivated towards the better performance, right? So a workplace where connection is prioritized, it is seen that personal gain, but the collaborative success of the team is taken into consideration by the employees. Now, these were the 2 C's of motivation. Now we'll come to the third C, which is choice, which means that having the autonomy to take decisions and having a say in how tasks are accomplished means they are given the choice of of discussions, of giving their opinions, of giving their thoughts on the process of whatever it is going in the organization. So autonomy is a power motivator because it gives individuals a sense of control over their work, and it allows them to align their tasks with their personal preferences and the strengths, right? Now the last C of motivation is celebration. Celebration involves the recognizing and appreciating the achievements and the milestones, both big or small, of the employees, right? So here, celebrating the success is a critical aspect of motivation because it reinforces the positive behavior and will also encourage the continued efforts of the employees. Now, in a workplace, if we talk, regular regular recognitions and rewards can it can significantly boost the morale and the motivation of the employees. For example, when a team completes a major project, holding a celebration to acknowledgement everyone's contribution means it is very essential to to acknowledge everyone's contribution means whatever they have done in the process of the or in the operations of the business, it is more it can uh, by this way employees can feel appreciated as well as valued for the organization. This can take various forms, such as public praise, by providing them bonus, by providing them the certificates, or even the informal gatherings, right? So creating a culture of appreciation where achievements are regularly acknowledged and can always lead to a more engaged and motivated workforce, right? So when employees know that their hard work will be recognized and celebrated, they are more likely to perform well, they are more likely to work hard, so that they know that they will be their efforts will be recognized and will also be celebrated in the organization. They will be more committed and motivated towards their performance, right? The celebration will not only boost the individual's morale, but it will also strengthen the team cohesion as well as the loyalty for the organization, right? So creating a positive life cycle of motivation is very important for any organization. So now we can say that by focusing on these four C's of motivation, which were completeness, connection, choice, and celebration, managers and both leaders, they can create a motivating environment that promotes high level of engagement, high level of job satisfaction, and the overall performance of the employees as well as the overall performance of the organization. Now understanding and implementing these elements, it is very important, it is very crucial, because this will lead to a more dynamic, committed, and motivated workforce of the organization. So now the next topic is, after the four C's, the next topic comes is the 4 R's of motivation, which are recognition, rewards, relationship, and responsibilities. Now recognition is, it is about acknowledging and appreciating an individual's efforts, individual's achievements, or when people are recognized for their hard work, it will boost their self esteem, and it will also motivate them for the more hard work in future. It will boost their self esteem and will motivate them to continue performing well in the organization, right? So recognizing can be formal, like rewards, like awards, like certificates, or even the informal or say thank you note for the verbal praise, right? So this is the key to ensure that the recognition is sincere and timely. Now, next R is rewards. R for rewards. Rewards are tangible incentives which are given to the individuals in return for their efforts and achievements, right? So while recognition is more about emotional appreciation, now rewards will provide more material benefits, like rewards, they can include bonus, they can include pay gifts, or the gifts of extra time, right? So effective rewards are those that are meaningful to the employees and which are aligned with the personal preferences of the employees. Now comes the third R, which is relationship. So relationship focuses on the social connections and supportive interaction that individuals have within their work environment, right? So positive relationships with colleagues, or we can say supervisors and the subordinates, can significantly enhance the motivation. When people feel connected and supported, they are more likely to be engaged, they are more likely to be motivated in their work. Building strong relationship involves open communication, it involves mutual respect and the teamwork, right? So think of a team where members regularly collaborate, they share their ideas, and they support each other, right? So a team member who feels motivated because he or she has good relationships with his or her colleagues and the managers, this will the frequent communication, the frequent feedbacks, and this will always help each other when they are in need. The supportive environment will always make the employees more enthusiastic about their job and will always encourage them towards contributing their efforts towards the organizational goals, right? So these were the 3 hours of motivation. Now the last hour is responsibility. Responsibility refers to the duties and the task assigned to the individuals, right? When people are given the responsibilities that match their skills or their interest or as per their potentials, we can say, and they have a clear understanding of their roles, they are more likely to be motivated, right? So additionally, providing the opportunities can always, for individuals to take on new challenges or the responsibilities, it can always enhance their sense of purpose and achievement towards their organization in whatever they are working, right? So these were the 4 hours of motivation. Now we can say that by focusing on these 4 hours, which are recognition, rewards, relationship and responsibilities, managers and leaders, they both can create a motivating environment that will enhance the engagement, that will enhance the job satisfaction as well as the overall performance of the employees, which will obviously lead to the organizational performance, means attainment of the organizational performance. Now, understanding and implementing these elements will always lead to more dynamic, more committed and motivated work, right? So this was the case study. Sorry, these were the 4 hours of motivation. Now we'll come to the case study on motivation. So the first case study is motivating students in a college study group. Okay, so what's the problem here? Alex is a college student who has taken the lead in organizing a study group for his biology class. However, he notices that he is observing that the attendance is going very low, and the student seems to be unmotivated or distracted, right? So as a result, the group's overall performance on exams and assignment is not improving. Okay, so what's the question then? How can Alex use motivation techniques to increase the attendance and engagement in the study group? Okay, so how can he do that? Simply by setting clear goals and expectations, right? So Alex can set clear, achievable goals for the each study session. By this, he can ensure everyone knows what to expect, right? So he can explain how each session will help them understand the course material better and will also improve the grades, right? So at the beginning of each session, Alex can outline the topics they will cover, and he can set specific goals like understanding a difficult concept or completing a practical exam, right? So means this will, innovate the work whatever the students are doing, right? So he can use positive reinforcement, means Alex can use a positive reinforcement by praising group members for their efforts and achievements, right? He can recognize their hard work and improvements no matter how big or small. By recognizing the hard work, he can, inspire, or we can say he can motivate the students of different groups, right? He can make sessions interactive and fun. How Alex can, he can make the study sessions more engaging by incorporating the interactive activities as well as the games related to the study material, right? So this will keep the group members interesting and will also make the learning more enjoyable. And when the learning will become enjoyable, obviously the attendance will go up. And when the attendance will be up, obviously the students, they will score good marks, right? He can provide support and resources. Alex can ensure that all the group members, they have access to the resources they will need to success, or we can say that he can share the study material, he can offer help with different topics. He himself can provide them the help for the difficult topics, and also he can encourage the members to support each other, right? So now we'll come to the next question, which is, why was Alex concerned about the study group's performance? Okay, being a team leader, obviously he had to be concerned. Means Alex was concerned because attendance was low, and those who did not attend, they were unmotivated or demotivated, we can say, or they were distracted. Now, this lack of engagement was affecting the performance of the students, and which were lowering their grades and the lower marks in their assignment. Now, the next question is, what did Alex do to set clear goals and expectations? Okay, so Alex has set clear achievable goals for each study sessions. Means he explained how these sessions would help the group members to understand the material for the better performance, for their better grades, right? So he could have outlined the topics to be covered at the beginning of each session. So these are the strategies that he can adopt so that the performance goes up of every student, right? So how did Alex use positive reinforcement to motivate the group? Okay, so Alex can use positive reinforcement by praising the group members, right, for their efforts, be it small or big, right, for their efforts, for their achievements. He can recognize the hard works and improvements that have taken place in the students. He can provide a positive feedback and encouragement, which will ultimately motivate the students, and hence their performance can increase, which will lead to the increase in their grades as well, right? So the next question is, what activities did Alex introduce to make study sessions more interactive and fun? Okay, so Alex can introduce quiz games. He can encourage GDs, or we can say group discussions, and hands-on activities like creating models or diagrams to explain the complex topics, right? So by creating diagrams or by creating the models, complex topics will also become more interesting, and the students will be able to easily understand those topics. Now these activities, these will keep the group members engaged, which will make them enjoy their learning and hence improvement in their grades. Now the next question is, how did providing support and resources help the group study? Okay, now providing support and resources will help the groups by ensuring that all the members have access to the necessary study materials and assistance, right? So Alex can he can share notes, past exam papers, or we can useful links, whatever is there in the course, and he can organize the peer tutorials sessions also, right, where the stronger students can help the ones, those who are struggling for the studies, or those who are a bit weaker in the studies, or those who are weaker in that particular subject, which is biology, right? So the last question is, why was setting a consistent schedule and environment important for this study group? Okay, see, setting a consistent schedule and environment is necessary because it will help to build a routine. It will help to it will make the things easier for the students to commit the regular attendance, right? So a comfortable and distraction free environment will be created, which will make these study sessions more effective, which will make the study more enjoyable, and hence the overall grades of the students can be affected, which will go in a upward direction, or we can say the students will score the good grades.